feel like I'm in paradise. Good morning, or should I say buenos dias? Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Today, I thought I might do something a little bit different. So I'm telling you things you should know about Mexico. Now, I've been here for 6 months, well, almost 6 months. Next month will make 6 months. So I've accumulated quite a bit of knowledge since being here. And I thought, you know what? Whether you are coming here to move here, or you're coming here to be on vacation for a bit and then go back home, this video I think would be useful for you. And I'm going to tell you 10 things that I've learned since being in Mexico. And I really think these things are useful. So please, grab your paper and your pen or your notepad, whatever you choose to use. Grab that and keep watching. Come to a nice little area. This is my view. It's so calming here, like so calming. It is morning time. I'm on the beach. I'm on this like swing. Perfect time to make a video for you guys on 10 things to know before coming to Mexico. Now, this is any part in Mexico, any part, but specifically speaking, I have been to Tulum, I've been to Bacalar, I've been to Palenque, I've been to Playa del Carmen, and of course Cancun. So within those 5 areas, this is what I've learned. Share on the knowledge, you know, let you guys know what I know. And so if you do decide to come to Mexico, then you guys will know these facts. Travel with more than one card. Specifically, if you're from the UK and you're thinking to come to Mexico, I would highly recommend that you get yourself a Starlink card. And the reason why I'm saying this is because Monzo doesn't work out here, in my experience. No supermarket, no shop, no nothing has worked with Monzo. But with my Starlink, it works absolutely everywhere. Of course, there's no fees when you're taking out money. And you can take up, I think it's £300 a day. And I'm speaking in pounds because of course I'm from the UK. I'm sorry to go to the other people who are not from the UK. I do not know about your currencies and about the banks that you should use. But I'm speaking for specifically the UK people then. If you guys are coming to Mexico, get yourself a Starlink bank card. I couldn't tell the last time that I did this, but alternatively, take out the money before you come. Now that brings me to a next point, okay? Do not pay in dollars. Yes, you can pay in dollars here, but your money really does stretch better when you pay in pesos. And I'm saying this because, you know, the first thing they do, they just assume everyone here who's black is American. I've had that countless amount of times. Oh, pay in dollars, pay in dollars. No, honey, I am from the UK. I don't pay in dollars, I pay in pesos. So I would recommend highly paying in pesos because it is really much better. Like the amount of money you spend on using dollars, your money really stretches more using pesos. So I would recommend using pesos instead of dollars. Oh, tip number three, okay? This is not just specifically for Mexico. This is actually everywhere. In my whole experience in traveling, full-time, part-time, 3 months, 6 months, year, whatever, I would say when you take your money out at the cash point, okay? Click decline conversion. It won't stop your transaction from going through. You will still be able to take money out. However, it will not be using the cash point conversion rate. It will be using your bank's conversion rate. Now, I've done this with Starlink, okay? I click decline conversion, and obviously with Starlink, it's just a bit like Monzo. In fact, it's exactly the same thing. You get the notification to your phone straight away. So the rate that it will show me on the cash point, the amount that it would say would be in pounds compared to what the notification said on my phone, I managed to save £16 when I clicked the no button, okay? Now imagine clicking yes and then having to pay £16 extra. That's a whole meal right there. You can fully get dinner with that. Dinner and lunch here in Mexico, might I say. dinner, lunch, and you might even be able to stretch for breakfast as well, because, you know, depending on where you eat in, etc, etc. But you can save a lot of money by clicking no in the conversion rates at the ATMs, and that's here, that's in Jamaica, that's in other parts of the Caribbean, that's parts in Europe, that's parts in wherever you're traveling. I would always recommend clicking no instead of yes for the conversion rates. Tip number 4, pardon the pun, they do expect you to pay tip. Let's just put it out there. Tip generally is between 10 and 15%. When we're in the UK, the tip culture is not there. You don't have to pay tip. That is totally discretionary. That's up to you. Whether you think the service is good or bad, then you decide to pay tip or not. But here, it is slightly discretionary, but they do expect you to pay as well. Like, you can say, no, the service is not that great, so I'm not paying. And I actually had that experience the other day. I was in a restaurant and I waited like 45 minutes for my food, and there was no service. The service was I can't even swear on here. The service was bad. So I was like, when it comes to time for paying for the bill, I was like, I'm not paying the tip. There was no, oh, I'm sorry for the wait, blah, 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 blah. Nothing. There was nothing. Nada, 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 nada. So I did say, sorry, I'm not paying tip. And, you know, the woman looked at the thing like, where's my tip? Where's my money? And she tried to say, the cheek of it, she tried to say, oh, I'm gonna have to pay money now because you're not paying tip. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why must you as the waiter have to pay money because I'm not paying tip? That doesn't make sense. Like, you can't fool me. But in other restaurants that give you good service, be expected to pay 10 to 15% tip. Now, when they do give you good service, of course, guys, pay. Come on. But if the service is, then it's understandable if you don't want to pay. But just to let you know, there is a 10 to 15% tip culture here. Now, my next point, tip number 5. This is more so for the people that are here long term, or like 2 to 3 months, and might be like an Airbnb and want to save some money. I currently stay in an Airbnb. I've been in this Airbnb for 5 months. No, that's cap, for 4 months, because I stayed in a hotel my first month being here. Then I negotiated my price with my Airbnb guy and found a fantastic Airbnb, which I'll do a video on as well. In terms of your shopping, I live like the locals here. It's how I save money, okay? Budget traveling at its finest. So what I do is I actually order online. I use a service called Rappi, and that's for the times where I cannot be bothered to take my ass to the supermarket physically. But the number one supermarket I would choose, it's not that it's cheap, but it's cheaper than the others, and it's called Cheruai. I probably said the pronunciation wrong, but how I pronounce it is Cheruai. I'll put a little picture here. I recommend going to this specific supermarket. There is Walmart, there is many others, but listen, you gotta save them coins, because when you be shopping every single week and you're going to these expensive places, the money can add up real quick. So I'm not recommending any places that, you know, are too expensive. And in my experience, Cheruai is the supermarket to go to, and that's the one that's been my go-to my whole time here. And also another important one, I don't know why I didn't say this first, but keep your immigration card, okay? Do not throw it away. Do not throw it away. You need that card. You need that card. I've heard stories of people being sent back home, but whether you're on holiday for a long term or short term, I've heard stories of people being sent back home because when the police stopped them on road, they didn't have their immigration card. Now, that's absurd to me. Like, literally, I don't walk around with my immigration card because I feel like that's so precious. Like, that's like me walking around with my passport everywhere. Like, no. That's not what I'm about to do, okay? Because if I lose that, the wahala that I'm gonna have, the problem that I'm gonna have to get another one, and the money I might have to pay, is like, no, it's not worth carrying it around. But at least take a picture of it. But apparently you must take it around with you, but in my personal experience, I'm not doing that. But do not throw it away, because you are going to need it. Whether you're leaving Mexico or you might be suddenly stopped, at least have a picture on your phone, okay? So that's what I would recommend. Also, if you want to live here long term, or if you're here part time, however much money you want to save, if you want to save that mullah, okay, listen to this point. Listen to this point. Listen to this point. This next point is really important, okay? When I first came here, I got taxi everywhere, and I was paying like 150 pesos for a 10-minute journey. A 10-minute journey. When I think about it, it irks my soul. It really irks my soul. It really does. 150 pesos for a 10-minute journey. Now those people in the comments that are comments, I ain't even got no comments, but those people that silently be thinking 150 pesos is only like £3.50, like that's cheap. Okay, that's cheap. if you're living in London, but it's way too expensive if you're living here full time or if you're here for quite some time. Okay, normally the local price is 40 pesos, and that's you know what, the conversion is gonna be down below because I don't know these conversions, but normally the price is 40 pesos. Okay, 40. But you can push for a little 50, because if you push for 50, you know, it's nice to give a little extra 10, especially if you can afford it. So, you know, in my experience, 50 pesos is the most in Playa del Carmen. In Cancun, you might be paying 60, 70. But in Playa del Carmen, the average price is 40 to 50 pesos. What's a bump, right? What is a bump? You could be like, let me just do a little analogy for you. You can be like right here, taxi rank right here, or couple of taxis right here. You walk to here and it's a complete different price. Okay, here you'd be paying like 200 pesos for like a 5-minute journey, 10-minute journey. Here you'd be paying 50 or 40 pesos for the same 5 to 10-minute journey. But the difference is you got to walk from here to here. Like, please explain this to me. Why do they do this to people? More time. Tourists don't know this, and so they'll be casually paying the 200 price, and then someone might tell them about the 50 price. It's like, what? I could have walked from there to there and the price would have been different. Yes, okay, walk from there to there, the price gonna be different. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is something that I've actually learned, of course, since being here. I've had my fair share of paying 150 pesos, and I'm like, what? I would highly recommend knowing where to get taxis from, or generally when you get into taxi, I don't even ask questions no more. I just tell them, I want to get from A to B. Normally the price is X, Y, and Z. Is that okay? If they say yes, happy days. If they say no, keep it stepping and get a different taxi, because they really will try to bump you. And of course, as a tourist, they will know that you will pay the extra. So in my experience in Playa del Carmen, generally in town, you should pay no more than 50 pesos. Like 40 is the local price. If you're here as a tourist, the most you should pay is 50. Don't be going to 200, 250, 300 prices. Ridiculous. Colectivos. This is an alternative that you could have taken. A collectivo is like basically a bus. It's a bus for the locals, and you can also take it as a tourist. It's really cheap. 10 pesos a journey, no matter where you're going. Sometimes myself and my partner, we just jump on a collectivo and we go somewhere. Like, I really should have been filming these stuff, but I don't know. I'm so new to YouTube. I need to, like, you know, do some more research on that. Basically, we just jump on a collectivo and we start walking. Or we jump on a collectivo and we go X, Y, and Z places. So I would recommend this as well. Just get on a collectivo and see where it takes you. It's cheap, 10 pesos compared to 150 pesos taxi. Do the maths, up to you. Whatever you want to pay, you pay that. But I'm, you know, trying to save them coins, and I pay 10 pesos for a collectivo. Alternatively, you can pay 7 pesos for an actual bus. And if you actually want to go from one point to the next, for example, from Playa del Carmen to Cancun, you can also get a collectivo. You can get an Ado bus, or you can get a collectivo. Of course, collectivos are cheaper. It's actually 45 pesos for a collectivo for this kind of journey, or you want to go to Tulum or somewhere else. But generally, it is much cheaper to do this. So I would recommend getting collectivos anywhere. It's totally up to you where you want to go, but do your research, do your routes, find wherever we want to go, and get a collectivo there instead of taking taxi. Okay, the next point, never accept the first price. This is really important, because your price will go from 500 to 250 if you barter. Always barter. These prices these people tell you is no joke. Top tip. Okay, so the second to last tip, which I think is really important. Many people don't actually know about these things. I would say definitely visit a cenote whilst you're here. Now, Americans might say cenote, or some Americans I know say cenote, but I say cenote. It might be my accent, I don't actually know how you pronounce it, but visit a cenote. It is beautiful. It's basically a like a big hole, or a sink, not a sinkhole. I don't know how to describe it, man. A big hole that has water in it, natural, fresh water, and it's beautiful to go to. If you're coming to Mexico, visiting a cenote should be number 3 on your list, because cenotes are beautiful, and I would say I would highly recommend visiting them. Of course, there are plenty. There's some good ones in Tulum, there's some good ones in Playa. There are plenty, like plenty, especially and in Cancun as well. So, you know, it's not hard to find them. You know, you can find them on your own and pay a little price, or you can go with a tour guide or whatever it might be, or like as a package with something like a quad biking tour or something. So up to you, but definitely visit one. You won't regret it, trust me. And the last tip, if you ever get sick, right, there is a doctor, I think it's called remember the name. There are plenty doctors. They are very cheap if you need to have like a little appointment or something. Very cheap. Oh my god, I'm getting bitten here. I don't like those little bugs, but I'm getting absolutely bitten. But yeah, if you want to get a doctor, if you want an appointment, it's very cheap. I forgot the name of the doctor, but I'm going to insert a picture right here. But yeah, you can get a doctor appointment very quick and very cheap. So these are my 10 points about Mexico and things you must know before coming here. And I really think that they are useful. So please, guys, do not make this video go in vain. If you're here, listen to my points. Thanks guys for watching my video. I highly recommend that you take on my points. Take heed, okay? Take heed to my points because they are really important. But for now, I'm gonna go enjoy the beach because it's beautiful. I'm gonna soak up some sun, read a book, just do me, do whatever I love. So thanks guys for watching. See you next time.